Hey Dynamo fans, this is Ervin here. It's been a while since I did a video, so this is a special video. I'm doing a video to demo my latest amp, latest built amp I should say. This is an M50x, and I'm sure you've seen I've done videos on the M50x. I've had a purple one here, I've had a red one here. I've done different colors. Here's a blue one. This one is different than my normal M50x, and the reason why I'm doing the video is just show the difference. Pretty much M50x is based on the 2204 800 hot rod platform, and no secret about that. People love these old style Marshall style heads, and you want to do the mods that we used to do back in the 80s or 90s or whatever to get that hot rodded sound. Of which is where Soldano and Bogner and all those other companies came from, modifying those 800 hot rods, and Eddie Van Halen and all of them made those famous for the time period. Anyway, so I do M50X is my version, super hot rodded, balls to the wall. You've seen my other videos. Doesn't even need a gain knob because the gain is like from 2 to all the way to 10, and it doesn't really change at all. It just gets a little bit more intense, but it doesn't really change a whole lot. Anyway, what happened with this amp is I was building it for a customer, and I was trying to tweak something, and I couldn't find what I was looking for. And so what I did was I kind of used a different gain structure on this one just for troubleshooting and for tweaking it. And what I did was like, you're familiar with the GTS, the Dynamo GTS head, I pretty much put the GTS gain structure in this. Reason why is because it has more dynamics and allows me to not have gain from 0 to 10. I can dial it, as I need it. And also it cleans it up a little bit in certain frequencies to where I can, look at things, whatever. So I did that, and it sounds great. And then I gave the customer, says, you want me to leave it like the GTS style, or do you have to turn it back to the M50X style? Which one do you want? But anyway, I decided to do a video showing it in its current form, which is currently pretty much has the GTS mod. So what it is I pretty much I changed some of the values and some of the structures on the stages that match the GTS amps. And it has my favorite sound, actually, which is that, if you're familiar with Queensryche, that Operation Mindcrime sound, that raunchy JCM800 sound, and the 90s thing, whatever. Anyway, so I put that in there just for playing around with it, and it sounds great. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of demo how this amp sounds gain-wise with this mod in it, and tell me what you think and leave your comments down. But right now I have everything set to noon. Since standby, and I'm using my Brian Moore, my favorite one now. This one, it has the JB humbuckers in there. Kind of give you a bass line. So right now everything's set to noon. That's kind of the crunch sound. Basic 800 Marshall sound. So now we're going to go into the gain. So I'm going to start tweaking a little bit. GTS sound to it. so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you hear what it sounds like with different guitars real quick. So this is my favorite guitar now, Brian Moore MC1, JB Humbuckers, like I said, and I'm gonna switch to my other Brian Moore, which is active, and that's my balls to the wall heavy metal guitar, which I rarely play anymore. I tricked it all out, and I don't even play it anymore. That is this one right here. Now, with this guitar, with the active pickups, it acts like a overdrive pedal. So, it adds more gain than what's already in there. So, that's kind of why I wanted to do this demo, so you can kind of hear what this amp sounds like when you push, give it a little bit more extra push. Because some people like to run overdrive pedals that add more, overdrive or more intense sounds, whatever. And when you have more dynamics and more room to do that, on the gain side, then now you can kind of tweak your tone a little better. Whereas with the M50X in the standard form, you really can't do that. It's just straight balls to the wall from 0 to 60, and some people love it. I originally made it to the original one I made. All right, let's go back in history here. So the very first M50X I built was so intense. It was the Dimebag Darrell sound. It was wicked. And it sounded cool, right? I was kind of experimenting with it, and I did some things to it. And I took it to a guitar show, and I know how to tune it, and some of my friends know how to tune it. But a lot of kids would come up, and they would just crank up the gain to 10, the treble to 10, the bass to 10, the mid to 0, and they would just go at it. And I mean, it was literally breaking glass. I could hear glass shambling a mile away. And I was like, oh my God, my ears are bleeding. I says, okay, obviously I can't let this go like this, because, a person who doesn't know how to really tweak an amp, and they walk into the typical guitar store with the typical amps that are there, you have to crank everything to 10 for it to sound like anything, right? But with this amp, you don't. You got to kind of know what you're doing and dial it back some. But it was like, okay, well, your average person or kid, whoever plays this, who's into the metal, is going to just crank it all. It's going to sound horrible. So I decided to dial it back, and then I created a whole different gain structure, and that's where the current M50X came from. Straight balls to the wall, but it was dialed back for more tone, and it actually, the GTS and M50X kind of sound similar. It's just the gain's more intense on the M50X, whereas the GTS, you can kind of tweak it. And you can get the same gain at max, but it's kind of like more, you can get more brown sounds out of it at a lower gain setting as opposed to just straight balls. So anyway, this guitar pretty much has a push on it. If you put it on a clean channel, it still sounds like overdrive. That's how much gain that these pickups put out. So anyway, putting it through here, I want you to hear how it sounds now. I hadn't played it in a while, but I'm not trying to really play anything anyway. I'm just kind of just doodling around. But anyway, as you can hear, the gain's way more intense. It has that exact wild Aussie sound that, from the pickups, just giving a little extra push on it. So I know what you're thinking, okay, how does that sound with my Gibson Les Paul? So Got you covered, bro. There we go. Gibson Les Paul. Little flame job on there. And I forget, these have the Burstbucker Pro pickups, I think that's in it. Okay, well, that's it, folks. So, tell me what you think. I know you got to go back and look at the other videos, and those are, you can find those. I'll put a link on here attaching to it, but check out the other videos. Let me know what you think. And to my customer, let me know if you like it or not. If you want this, I'll get it wrapped up for you, and if you don't, I can go back to the other one. I will say that it does have a little bit of hum to it, but that's normal. And like I said, this is hot rodded to the balls, just more dynamic, where the other one is hot rodded to the max. But anyway, plus the lights in here or whatever is making that, affecting that here too. But anyway, holla at you guys later. Thanks for listening, and keep rocking.